Mia Grayson had fought tooth and nail for this moment, and damn it, it felt good. At 32, she'd finally clawed her way out of dead-end gigs and into a sleek corner office at Pinnacle Marketing, a firm that handled campaigns for brands so big they could buy your soul and sell it back to you. The view from the 14th floor, Chicago's skyline glittering like a promise, made every late night and shitty retail job worth it. Today, though, was the cherry on top. She'd just nailed a pitch to land $1 million client, and the buzz in the open-plan office was electric. "Mia, you fucking killed it," Sarah from design shouted across the room, holding up a mock salute with her coffee mug. Heads turned, grins flashed, and a few claps broke out as Mia leaned against her desk, soaking it in. Her navy blazer was still crisp, her dark curls tamed into a low bun, and her hazel eyes sparkled with a mix of adrenaline and pride. She'd spent weeks on that presentation. Charts, taglines, the works. And when the client's VP said, "You've got the gig," she'd nearly fist-pumped right there in the boardroom. "Thanks, Sarah," Mia called back, her voice steady despite the thrum in her chest. "Couldn't have done it without your visuals." That was true. Sarah's sleek graphics had sealed the deal, but Mia knew her own hustle had carried the day. She'd always been the type to outwork everyone, a habit born from years of proving herself in a world that loved to underestimate a woman with a loud laugh and a sharper mind. The praise kept coming. Her boss, Carla, a no-nonsense woman with a steel-gray bob and a penchant for blunt feedback, poked her head out of her office. "Mia, that was some next-level shit. Drinks on me tonight if you're free." Mia grinned, nodding. She'd earned this, and she wasn't about to say no to free bourbon. But not everyone was clapping. Across the room, Ethan Carter sat at his desk, his fingers hovering over his keyboard like he was pretending to type. At 35, he was the kind of guy who thought a tailored suit and a smug grin made him God's gift to marketing. His sandy hair was gelled just so, his tie a little too loud, and his eyes, narrow and green, followed Mia like a hawk tracking prey. He'd been at Pinnacle 3 years longer than her, but his campaigns were safe, predictable, the kind that got polite nods but never set the room on fire. Mia's rise, though? That shit burned him. "Nice job, Mia," Ethan said, his voice smooth as oil, cutting through the chatter. He leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms like he owned the place. "Guess all those late nights paid off, huh? Or was it the charm?" His lips twitched into a half-smile, the kind that made you want to punch it off his face. Mia's grin faltered, but she didn't miss a beat. "Hard work, Ethan. You should try it sometime." A few snickers rippled through the team, and his smile tightened. She turned away, grabbing her water bottle, but she could feel his stare boring into her back. Asshole. He'd been like this since she started 6 months ago. Little digs, backhanded compliments, always acting like her wins were flukes. She'd brushed it off as insecurity, but today, with the client's handshake still warm in her memory, it pissed her off more than usual. The afternoon rolled on, and Mia rode the high. She emailed the client follow-ups, brainstormed next steps with Sarah, and ignored Ethan's occasional glances. By 4 p.m., Carla called an impromptu team huddle in the conference room, a glass-walled fishbowl where egos swam and died. "All right, listen up," Carla said, pacing with her usual restless energy. "Mia's pitch just put us on the map with this account. She's leading the charge, and I expect everyone to step up. No fucking around. This is big." Mia stood near the front, arms crossed, basking in the nod of approval. Carla didn't bullshit. If she said you were good, you were good. The team murmured agreement, except Ethan. He lounged at the back, picking lint off his sleeve like he was above it all. "Congrats again, Mia," he said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Must be nice to have the spotlight. Hope you can handle the heat." The room stilled. Sarah shot Mia a look. "What's his deal?" And Carla raised an eyebrow, but Mia didn't flinch. "I've got it covered, Ethan," she said, her tone ice cold. "Worry about your own shit." A couple of muffled laughs broke the tension, and Carla moved on, but Ethan's eyes didn't leave her. They narrowed, glinting with something darker than annoyance. Jealousy, maybe, or spite. As the meeting wrapped, Mia grabbed her notes and headed back to her desk, her victory glow dimming just a fraction. She didn't trust Ethan, never had. He was too polished, too calculated, like a snake waiting to strike. She'd seen guys like him before, the ones who smiled while they sharpened the knife. But she wasn't some rookie he could rattle. She'd worked too damn hard to let him ruin this. Back at his desk, Ethan watched her go, his fingers drumming a slow rhythm on his mouse. His jaw clenched, and under his breath, he muttered, "Enjoy it while it lasts, bitch." No one heard him over the hum of the office, but the venom in his voice hung in the air, a promise of trouble brewing. Mia didn't know it yet, but the snake had already started slithering. The next week at Pinnacle Marketing felt like a victory lap for Mia. The client's contract was signed, sealed, and delivered, and her name was on everyone's lips, except Ethan's, of course. She'd caught the whispers, though, the little ripples of bullshit he'd started stirring. "She's too green for this." She overheard someone mutter in the break room, parroting Ethan's favorite line. "Probably just kissed the right ass." Mia rolled her eyes and poured her coffee, letting it slide. She'd dealt with petty gossip before. Retail taught her that much, but it still stung, like a paper cut you don't notice until it bleeds. By Wednesday, the vibe shifted. People weren't just whispering. They were watching her, sidelong glances over cubicle walls, like she'd grown a second head. Sarah pulled her aside at lunch, her voice low. "Mia, something's up. I heard Ethan telling Jake you've been slacking, said you're riding the pitch win like it's a free pass." Mia's stomach twisted. "That's fucking rich," she snapped, stabbing her salad with a fork. "I've been here till midnight every night this week." Sarah nodded, sympathetic but wary. "Just watch your back, okay? He's got a hard-on for screwing you over." Mia tried to shake it off, but the unease stuck. She buried herself in work, prepping a follow-up deck for the client, a sleek, data-driven beast she'd poured her soul into. It was due Friday, and she wasn't about to let Ethan's petty shit derail her. Thursday night, she saved the file to the shared drive, triple-checked it, and headed home, exhausted but proud. She'd show them, especially that smug bastard, who belonged here. Friday morning hit like a freight train. Mia walked in at 8 a.m., coffee in hand, ready to present. She opened her laptop, clicked into the drive, and froze. The file, her file, the one she'd slaved over, was gone. Not corrupted, not misplaced, fucking gone. "What the hell?" she muttered, refreshing the screen. Nothing. Her pulse spiked, and she dug through backups, trash folders, anywhere it could have slipped. Zilch. Panic clawed up her throat as she stormed to IT, practically vibrating. "Can you recover a deleted file from the drive?" she asked, voice tight. The tech, a lanky kid named Raj, frowned. "Maybe, but it'll take time." Who else had access? Mia's mind snapped to Ethan. She didn't have proof, not yet, but she knew. She marched to his desk, where he sat typing with that fake-ass focus he loved to flaunt. "Ethan," she said, loud enough to turn heads. "Where's my fucking file?" He looked up, all wide-eyed innocence, and leaned back in his chair. "What file, Mia?" "Shit happens. Maybe you forgot to save it." His lips twitched, that smirk she wanted to slap off his face, and her hands balled into fists. "Don't play dumb with me, you prick. I saved it last night, and now it's gone. You were the last one here." He shrugged, casual as hell. "Sounds like a you problem. Maybe you're not as on top of things as you think." A few co-workers glanced over, awkward and silent, as Mia's voice rose. "Bullshit. I know you did this, and I'm not letting it slide." Ethan stood, towering over her by a few inches, his grin fading to something colder. "Careful, Mia. Accusing me without proof? That's a quick way to look like a paranoid bitch." She stepped closer, not backing down. "Fuck your proof. I'll find it. And when I do, you're toast." Sarah tugged her away before she could swing, whispering, "He's not worth it. Not here." Mia's chest heaved, her face hot with rage, but she let herself be pulled back. She spent the next hour rebuilding the deck from memory, cursing Ethan's name under her breath. She got it done, barely, and presented it to Carla, who nodded approval but added, "Get your shit together, Mia. No excuses next time." The reprimand burned, even if it wasn't her fault. By the time she got home, Mia was a wreck. She kicked off her heels, threw her bag on the couch, and collapsed next to Lucas, her husband of 3 years. He was sprawled out in sweats, scrolling his phone, all lean muscle and quiet calm, a stark contrast to her storm. "Rough day?" he asked, not looking up. "Rough? That asshole Ethan deleted my presentation, and I can't prove it." She spat, voice cracking. "He's trying to tank me, Lucas, and it's working. Everyone's looking at me like I'm a fuck up. Lucas set his phone down, his dark eyes meeting hers. He had this way of seeing through her bullshit, cutting straight to the core. He's a dick, he said simply, pulling her into his chest. But you're tougher than him. You'll figure it out. She shoved him half-heartedly, frustration boiling over. How the fuck can you be so chill about this? I could lose everything. He just smiled, that maddening, knowing smile, and brushed a curl from her face. You won't. I've got your back, babe. This'll sort itself out. Mia stared at him, torn between wanting to scream and wanting to believe him. Lucas was always steady, too steady sometimes, but there was something in his tone, a quiet edge she couldn't place. He ran some consulting gig, made good money, but he never bragged about it. She'd never pushed, happy to let him have his mysteries while she chased her own dreams. Now, though, that calm felt like a lifeline and a puzzle. What's that supposed to mean? She pressed, but he just kissed her forehead. Trust me, that prick's digging his own grave. She didn't know it yet, but Lucas was right. Ethan's little stunt was just the start, and the snake was about to coil tighter. Mia should have seen it coming. After the file stunt, she'd kept her guard up, double-saving everything, locking her laptop like it was Fort Knox. She'd even started documenting Ethan's snide remarks. Every nice try, rookie, and don't trip on your way up, in case she needed ammo. But Ethan wasn't playing small anymore. He'd gone from petty jabs to a full-on fucking ambush, and she didn't spot the trap until it snapped shut. It started Monday, a week after the presentation fiasco. Mia was riding high again. Carla had praised her rebuilt deck, and the client sent a glowing email about her initiative. She was in the zone, hammering out a campaign timeline, when her desk phone rang. Mia, my office. Now. Carla barked, her tone sharp enough to cut glass. Mia frowned, grabbing her notepad. Carla didn't mess around, but this felt off, urgent, almost pissed. She walked into Carla's office, all sleek lines and city views, and stopped dead. Carla sat behind her desk, arms crossed, her face a storm cloud. Next to her stood Jake from IT, shifting on his feet like he'd rather be anywhere else. Sit, Carla said, pointing at the chair. Mia sat, her gut twisting. What's going on? Carla slid a printout across the desk, an email, time-stamped last Friday, from Mia's account to a rival firm's VP. The subject line read, Pinnacle Pitch Details. Mia's eyes scanned it, and her heart dropped like a stone. It was her client deck, every slide, every stat, attached with a note. Thought you'd find this useful. Let's talk. Her signature was at the bottom, clear as day. What the fuck is this? Mia blurted, shoving the paper back. I didn't send this. Carla's eyes narrowed. It came from your login, Mia? Traced and verified. You're telling me someone hacked you? Her voice dripped with skepticism, and Mia's mind raced. Yes, no, I don't know. I'd never leak this, Carla. You know me. She was shouting now, panic clawing at her chest. Jake cleared his throat. The logs show it was sent from your station, 7:32 p.m. Friday. You were here late, right? Mia nodded, frantic. Yeah, but I left at 7. I didn't. She stopped, the pieces clicking. Ethan, that slimy fuck had stayed late too, finishing reports at the desk across from hers. She'd seen him typing as she grabbed her coat, his smirk flickering in the dim office light. It's him, she said, voice low, trembling with rage. Ethan did this. He's been gunning for me since day one. Carla leaned forward, unimpressed. That's a hell of an accusation, Mia. You got proof, or just a hunch? Mia's hands shook as she gripped the chair arms. He deleted my file last week. Raj can check the logs. He's jealous, Carla. He hates that I'm... Carla cut her off, sharp. Enough. I don't care about your office soap opera. This is a breach, serious shit. You're suspended until we investigate. Go home. Mia's world tilted. Suspended? Carla, I'm telling you, I didn't. Carla stood, done. Out. Now. Jake wouldn't meet her eyes as she stumbled to her feet, the email burning a hole in her brain. She grabbed her bag from her desk, ignoring the stares, the whispers already spreading like wildfire. She knew who'd lit the match. Ethan was at his desk, typing with that fake-ass diligence, when she stormed over. You motherfucker, she hissed, slamming her hands on his desk so hard his coffee sloshed. Head snapped up, the office going dead quiet. Ethan looked up, all mock surprise, and leaned back. Whoa, Mia, what's your problem? His voice was syrupy, taunting, and it snapped something in her. "You set me up, you piece of shit," she screamed, loud enough to echo off the glass walls. "That email, you sent it from my account, didn't you?" He stood, slow and deliberate, towering over her with that smug grin. "You're losing it, sweetheart. Maybe the pressure's too much, cracking already." She lunged, shoving him hard, and he stumbled back, laughing. "Oh, real classy, Mia. Keep digging that hole." "Fuck you," she roared, grabbing his monitor like she'd hurl it. Sarah and Jake rushed over, pulling her back as she thrashed. "He's a liar, he framed me." Ethan crossed his arms, playing the victim for the crowd. "Get her out of here before she hurts someone," he said, loud enough for Carla's office. Mia's vision blurred with tears and fury as Sarah dragged her to the elevator, whispering, "Stop. Mia, you're making it worse." The door slid shut, and Mia sank against the wall, chest heaving. "He did it, Sarah," she choked out. "I know he did." Sarah squeezed her arm, helpless. "I believe you, but you need proof." "He's too slick." Mia nodded, wiping her face, rage hardening into resolve. She'd find it. She'd bury him. She drove home in a daze, the city blurring past her windshield. Lucas was in the kitchen when she burst in, slamming her keys on the counter so hard they skidded. "Babe," he called, turning from the stove, some pasta thing he'd been tinkering with. She didn't answer, just paced, fists clenched. "Ethan framed me." She spat finally, voice breaking. "Faked an email, got me suspended. I'm fucked, Lucas." He set the spoon down, crossing to her in 2 strides. "Slow down, what happened?" She told him, words tumbling out, curses peppering every sentence. "That bastard's trying to ruin me, and Carla thinks I'm a traitor." Lucas pulled her into a hug, his calm a stark contrast to her storm. "He's an idiot," he said, voice steady. "He doesn't know who he's messing with." Mia pulled back, glaring. "What's that mean?" "I'm out of a job, Lucas." He cupped her face, his dark eyes glinting with something fierce. "You're not done." "He is. Trust me." She wanted to scream. How? But his certainty stopped her. He wasn't just soothing her. He knew something. "What aren't you telling me?" she demanded. But he just kissed her, hard and quick. "Later. Eat first." She didn't eat. She sat, staring at the pasta, her mind a war zone. Ethan had won this round. Humiliated her, stripped her of everything she'd built. But as she watched Lucas move around the kitchen, that quiet confidence radiating, she felt a spark. Maybe she wasn't as alone as she thought. Maybe Ethan had just fucked himself. Mia didn't make it past the parking lot before the dam broke. She sat in her car, hands gripping the steering wheel so tight her knuckles whitened, and let out a scream that rattled the windows. "Fuck. Fuck him. Fuck everything." The words tore from her throat, ragged and wet, as tears streamed down her face. She pounded the dashboard, the sting in her palms a faint echo of the ache in her chest. Ethan had won. That slimy, jealous bastard had taken her dream, her life, and shredded it, and she'd played right into his hands with that outburst. Her phone buzzed. "Sarah, texting, you okay? Call me." Mia ignored it, tossing the phone onto the passenger seat. She wasn't okay. She was a fucking mess, suspended from the job she'd bled for, branded a traitor by the boss she'd idolized. The office scene replayed in her head. Ethan's smirk, Carla's cold dismissal, the stares, and she wanted to claw it all out of her skull. "I'm such an idiot," she muttered, wiping her nose on her sleeve. She'd trusted the system, thought hard work would shield her. Bullshit. She drove home on autopilot, the city a gray smear through her tears. Her apartment, hers and Lucas's, a cozy third-floor walk-up with mismatched furniture and too many books, felt like a cage when she stumbled in. She kicked off her shoes, one slamming into the wall, and sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. The silence pressed in, heavy and accusing. 6 months at Pinnacle, 6 months of proving herself, and now? Nothing. Ethan had turned her into a cautionary tale, and she'd let him. Lucas found her there an hour later, still curled up, staring at the ceiling. He'd been out, some meeting, he'd said, and came in with takeout bags, his dark hair mussed from the wind. "Hey," he said, pausing when he saw her. "You didn't eat the pasta, huh?" His tease fell flat as he clocked her red eyes, her balled-up blazer. He dropped the bags and sat beside her, close but not touching. "Talk to me." Mia laughed, a bitter, broken sound. "What's there to say? I'm fucked, Lucas." Suspended, humiliated, probably fired soon. Ethan won. Her voice cracked, and she hated it. Hated sounding weak. Lucas reached for her hand, but she pulled away, standing to pace. I yelled at him in front of everyone, called him a motherfucker, shoved him. Carla didn't even blink, just sent me packing. I'm done. He watched her, calm as ever, and it pissed her off more. You're not done, he said, leaning back. You're pissed? Yeah, but you're not out. Mia whirled on him, fists clenched. How the fuck can you be so chill about this? My career's in the toilet, and you're sitting there like it's no big deal. Her voice rose, sharp and accusing. Do you even get how bad this is? I let you down. I let us down. Lucas didn't flinch. He stood, slow and deliberate, and stepped closer, his voice low but firm. You didn't let anyone down, Mia. That prick Ethan's the one who fucked up, not you. And don't give me that career's over shit. You're tougher than this. She glared, tears prickling again. Tough. I'm a goddamn punching bag right now. He framed me, and I've got nothing, no proof, no job, nothing. He grabbed her shoulders, gentle but unyielding, forcing her to meet his eyes. You've got me, he said, and there it was again. That edge, that quiet promise she couldn't pin down. This'll sort itself out, babe. He'll pay. Mia shoved him off, frustration boiling over. Stop saying that. What the fuck does that even mean? You're not a wizard. Lucas, you can't snap your fingers and fix this. His lips twitched, almost a smile, and it drove her nuts. Not a wizard, he said, but I've got ways. Trust me. She wanted to scream. Ways? What ways? But the fight drained out of her, leaving her hollow. She sank back onto the couch, head in her hands. I don't know how to trust anything right now, she whispered. I feel like a failure. Lucas sat beside her again, closer this time, his arm brushing hers. You're not a failure. You're a badass who got blindsided. Happens to the best. He nudged her, voice softening. Remember that time you told off your old boss at the diner? Called him a greasy fuck to his face and walked out? You bounced back then. You'll do it now. Mia snorted, a faint spark flickering through the gloom. Yeah, and I was broke for a month after that. He grinned. And I bought you tacos every night till you landed this gig. Point is, you don't quit. She looked at him, his steady gaze cutting through her fog. He was right. She didn't quit. Ethan had knocked her down, but she wasn't out. Not yet. Fine, she said, wiping her face. I'm not done. But I'm not letting that bastard win, either. Lucas nodded, that knowing glint back in his eyes. Good. 'Cause he's got no idea what's coming. Mia frowned, searching his face. What are you hiding, Lucas? He just stood, grabbing the takeout. Food first. Then we'll talk. She didn't push, not yet. But as she watched him unpack the bags, that spark grew. Ethan thought he'd broken her, but he'd miscalculated. She'd hit rock bottom, sure, but she wasn't staying there. She'd claw her way back, and when she did, that smug fucker would regret ever crossing her. Lucas's cryptic calm only fueled her. Whatever he knew, whatever he had up his sleeve, she'd use it. This wasn't over. Mia woke up the next morning with a headache and a fire in her gut. Rock bottom had been a pit stop, not a grave. She wasn't about to let Ethan's smug ass bury her. She rolled off the couch where she'd crashed, ignoring the takeout containers Lucas had left on the coffee table, and grabbed her laptop. Proof. She needed proof that bastard had framed her, and she'd tear the fucking internet apart to find it. Lucas was already gone. Some early meeting, a note on the counter said. Back soon. Kick his ass. She snorted, a flicker of warmth cutting through her rage. He believed in her, even if his cryptic bullshit still nagged at her. She'd grill him later. Right now, Ethan was her target. She brewed coffee, black and bitter, and settled in, her fingers flying over the keys. First stop, Pinnacle's shared drive logs. She still had remote access. Carla hadn't cut her off yet, and she'd be damned if she didn't use it. The logs were a mess, timestamps and user IDs in a tangle, but she cross-checked Friday's activity. Her login sent the email at 7:32 p.m., like Jake said, but she'd clocked out at 7:04. Security footage would prove it. Ethan's ID lingered till 8:15, the last one out. Got you, you sneaky fuck, she muttered, screenshotting it. Not enough to nail him, but a start. She needed more, something to show he'd accessed her station. She switched gears, diving into Ethan's digital footprint. His ex profile was public, all polished PR, tweets about teamwork and hustle, dripping with fake humility. She scrolled back months, hunting for cracks. There, a post from last year. Some people don't deserve their wins. Karma's coming. Vague, but it fit his petty vibe. She dug deeper, searching his name with keywords, Pinnacle, fired, asshole, and struck gold. A thread from an ex-coworker at Design Diva 88 ranted about Ethan C. screwing me over, stole my ideas, got me canned. Watch out for that snake. Mia's pulse raced. She DM'd the account, fingers trembling. Hey, I think Ethan got me too. Can we talk? While she waited, she called Sarah, pacing the living room. Sarah, it's me. I'm not sitting on my ass anymore. I'm taking him down. Sarah laughed, sharp and relieved. Fucking finally. What's the plan? Mia grinned. Feral. I've got logs showing he was there after me, and I'm chasing a lead from X. You in? Hell yes, Sarah said. Meet me at the coffee shop on Clark. Bring your laptop. I've got dirt too. Mia hung up, adrenaline surging. She showered quick, threw on jeans and a hoodie, and headed out, her mind a war room. Ethan thought she'd roll over. He was about to learn how wrong he was. At the shop, Sarah slid into the booth with a smirk, her blonde bob messy from the wind. You look like shit, she said, pushing a latte toward Mia. Thanks, Mia shot back, gulping it. Feel like it too. What VE you got? Sarah leaned in, voice low. I talked to Raj after you left yesterday. He's scared of Ethan. Says he's seen him fix things on other people's accounts before. Won't go on record, but it's something. Mia's eyes lit up. That's fucking huge. If Raj saw him mess with my login, Sarah cut her off. He won't testify, Mia. Ethan's got him spooked. But I've got more. She pulled out her phone, showing an email from 2 years back. Ethan to Sarah, claiming credit for a campaign she'd designed. He sent this to Carla, got me demoted. I quit after that. He's done this shit before. Mia slammed her fist on the table, rattling the cups. That bastard's a fucking parasite. We've got a pattern, your story, mine, that ex-post. We just need hard evidence. Sarah nodded, fierce. I'll keep digging. You. Mia opened her laptop, showing the logs. This, plus I'm waiting on a reply from someone he screwed. We're building a cage for this prick. Her phone pinged mid-sentence. A Design Diva 88, real name Lisa. Yeah, Ethan Carter fucked me over at Pinnacle. Stole my client list, blamed me for a leak. Happy to spill, call me. Mia dialed, heart pounding, and Lisa picked up, her voice clipped. He's a sociopath, she said after Mia explained. Hacked my email, sent fake shit to our boss. I got fired, blacklisted. You got logs? Check the IP. He's sloppy with VPNs. Mia scribbled notes, thanking Lisa profusely. She hung up, grinning at Sarah. We've got a playbook. He's done this exact shit before. Hacks, frames, runs. I'm checking IPs next. Sarah high-fived her, but the moment broke when Mia's phone buzzed again. A text from an unknown number. Back off, bitch, or you'll regret it. She froze, showing Sarah. Ethan? Sarah asked, eyes wide. Mia's jaw tightened. Who else? Fucker's scared. She typed back, try me, asshole, and hit send, her blood singing with defiance. Sarah grabbed her arm. Mia, he's unhinged. Be careful. Mia nodded, but the threat only sharpened her resolve. Let him come. I'm ready. Back home, she dove into the IP logs, cross-referencing Lisa's tip. It'd take time. IT wasn't her forte, but she'd figure it out. Lucas walked in as she worked, dropping his keys. Hey, warrior, he said, eyeing her setup. Making progress. She looked up, fierce. Yeah, he's done this before. I've got witnesses, logs, and a threat from the bastard himself. I'm not stopping. Lucas grinned, leaning against the counter. That's my girl. He's fucked. She squinted at him. That calm's still unnerving. You keep saying that. What do you know, Lucas? He shrugged, grabbing a beer. Enough. Keep going, you'll see. She wanted to push, but the hunt consumed her. Ethan had lit the match. She'd burn him down. Mia had fire in her veins by Friday night. 2 days of digging with Sarah, logs, Lisa's testimony, a shaky IP trail, had her armed, if not fully loaded. Ethan's threat still burned in her pocket. That back off, bitch, text to taunt she couldn't ignore. She'd told Sarah over coffee, I'm done playing defense. He wants a fight? He's getting one. Sarah's eyes had widened, but she'd nodded, fierce. Happy hour at O'Malley's. Whole team's going. Perfect stage. Mia didn't care about perfect anymore. She wanted blood. She'd spent the week suspended, humiliated, clawing through Ethan's dirt while he strutted around Pinnacle like a king. No more. She threw on a leather jacket over her jeans, her curls loose and wild, and met Sarah outside the bar. The place was packed, Friday night chaos, music thumping, Pinnacle crew spilling across booths. Ethan was there, center of it all, laughing too loud with Jake and some new hires, his tie loose like he owned the fucking world. Sarah squeezed Mia's arm. You sure? Mia's grin was all teeth. Fucking watch me. She shoved through the crowd, her pulse a war drum, until she stood over Ethan's table. Conversations died as heads turned, sensing the storm. Ethan looked up, mid-sip of his beer, and his smirk faltered for a split second before sliding back into place. Mia, he drawled, leaning back. Thought you were banned from civilized places. She didn't hesitate. You jealous fuck, she said, loud enough to cut through the noise. The bar hushed, eyes locking on her. Admit what you did, you spineless piece of shit. Ethan set his beer down, slow and deliberate, standing to meet her glare. He was taller, broader, but she didn't flinch. What's that, princess? He said, voice dripping with mock confusion. You're gonna have to spell it out. Your meltdown's getting old. Mia stepped closer, fist clenched. You hacked my email, sent that leak to tank me, and you've been screwing people over for years. Lisa, Sarah me. You're a fucking coward who can't handle losing. The room buzzed, whispers rippling. Lisa? Sarah? What leak? Ethan laughed, sharp and cruel, spreading his arms like a showman. Oh, this is rich. You've got no proof, Mia, just a sad little tantrum, 'cause you couldn't cut it. Maybe Pinnacle's too big for you. She snapped. Bullshit, she roared, shoving him hard. He stumbled into the table, beer bottles clattering, and the crowd gasped. I've got logs, witnesses, you stayed late. Use my login, you slimy fuck. Ethan righted himself, brushing off his shirt, his grin gone feral. You're a talentless whore who got lucky, he spat, stepping into her space. And now you're crying, 'cause the spotlight's off? Pathetic. Sarah lunged forward. Back off, asshole. But Mia was already swinging. Her fist grazed his jaw. Not a clean hit, but enough to make him stagger. The bar erupted. Shouts, chairs scraping, Jake yelling. Chill, both of you. Ethan grabbed her wrist, twisting hard, and she yelped, kicking at his shin. Get off me, you prick, she snarled, wrenching free as Sarah pulled her back. Ethan's eyes blazed, but his voice stayed cold. You're done, Mia. Keep this up, and you'll be flipping burgers by Monday. Mia lunged again, but strong hands, Carla's, of all people, caught her shoulders. Enough, Carla barked, stepping between them. She'd been at the bar, unseen till now, her face a mask of fury. What the hell is this? Mia pointed, shaking. He framed me, Carla. I've got proof, logs, texts. He's a liar. Ethan smirked, smoothing his hair. She's unhinged, boss. Attacked me out of nowhere. You saw it. Carla's jaw tightened, glancing between them. Mia, you're suspended. Stay out of my sight. Ethan, my office Monday. Mia's stomach dropped. Carla, listen to me. Out. Carla snapped, pointing to the door. Ethan chuckled, low and smug, as security, two burly guys in black, grabbed Mia's arms. You're fucked now, he muttered, just for her ears, as they hauled her toward the exit. Sarah followed, cursing under her breath, but Mia didn't struggle. She let them drag her out, the cold night air hitting her like a slap. The bouncer dumped her on the sidewalk, and she stood, chest heaving, as Sarah caught up. That was insane, Sarah said, half awed, half worried. You okay? Mia wiped blood from her lip, when had that happened, and laughed, a wild, jagged sound. No, but he's not either. He slipped, called me a whore in front of everyone. Carla saw. Sarah frowned. She still kicked you out. Mia nodded, pacing the pavement. Yeah, but she's pissed at him too. He's rattled. I hit him, Sarah. He's not untouchable. She pulled out her phone, replaying Ethan's words in her head, and typed a note. You're done, asshole. Wait and see. She'd meant to whisper it as they dragged her out, but the chaos swallowed it. Didn't matter. She'd make it true. Sarah hugged her, quick and fierce. You're a lunatic, but I'm with you. What now? Mia's eyes glinted, hard as steel. We've got Lisa, the logs, his threat. I'll get Raj to crack. Someone's got proof he hacked me. He's going down. Sarah grinned. Good. Cause that punch. Fucking epic. Mia smirked, adrenaline fading to a dull ache. She'd lost it, publicly, messily, but Ethan's mask had cracked too. He'd played the victim, but Carla's Monday lingered in her mind. Doubt. Maybe. She'd use it. As Sarah hailed a cab, Mia's phone buzzed. Lucas. Heard you're a badass tonight. Home soon. She snorted, texting back. Fucked up bad. Need you. His reply was instant. Got you. She slid into the cab, bruised but unbowed. Ethan thought he'd won again, smirking as she was dragged out. Let him gloat. She'd hit rock bottom and bounced back swinging. Now she'd finish what he started. Mia stumbled into the apartment, her lips still stinging from the bar fight, her jacket scuffed from the bouncer's grip. The cab ride home had been a blur, Sarah's worried chatter fading into the hum of the city as Mia replayed Ethan's smirk, Carla's cold out, her own fist grazing his jaw. She'd fucked up, big time, but she'd rattled him too. That had to count for something. She kicked the door shut, wincing as her bruised knuckles brushed the frame, and collapsed onto the couch, head pounding. Lucas walked in 10 minutes later, keys jangling, his dark eyes scanning her like a radar. He'd texted he'd be home soon, but seeing him now, tall, steady, in a crisp button-down rolled to the elbows, hit her harder than she expected. Jesus, Mia, he said, dropping his bag and crossing to her in 2 strides. You look like you went 10 rounds with a bear. He crouched, tilting her chin to check her lip, his touch gentle but firm. She swatted his hand away, voice rough. Ethan's the bear, and I fucking lost. Happy hour turned into a shit show. I punched him, Lucas, in front of everyone. His eyebrows shot up, but a grin tugged at his mouth. You punched him? That's my girl. She glared, shoving off the couch to pace. Don't laugh. Carla saw, kicked me out. Suspension's probably permanent now. I'm screwed, and he's still winning. Lucas stood, watching her storm around the living room, his calm a maddening contrast. You're not screwed, he said, voice low. He is. Trust me. She whirled on him, fist clenched. Stop with that cryptic bullshit. You've been saying trust me all week. My career's toast. I'm a bar fight punchline, and you're acting like it's no big deal. Her voice cracked, tears burning her eyes. What the fuck do you know that I don't? He didn't flinch, just held her gaze, and for the first time, she saw something shift, his easy confidence hardening into something colder, sharper. All right, he said, stepping closer. You want it straight? I'm not just some consultant, Mia. I'm Lucas Grayson, CEO of Grayson Enterprises. Pinnacle's parent company? Mine. I own it. And that little prick Ethan? He's gone by morning. Mia's jaw dropped, the room tilting. What? She whispered, brain scrambling to catch up. Grayson Enterprises, she knew the name, a shadowy giant that swallowed firms like Pinnacle for breakfast. She'd assumed Lucas's consulting was some mid-level gig, good money but vague. Not this. You're fucking kidding me, she said, voice rising. You're the CEO? Of the whole damn thing? And you didn't tell me? He shrugged, unapologetic. Didn't want you riding my coattails. You earned Pinnacle on your own. I wasn't going to cheapen that. She laughed, a harsh, disbelieving sound, and shoved him hard. Cheapen it. You let me think we were equals, scraping by, while you're some goddamn titan. What the fuck, Lucas? He caught her wrists, holding firm as she thrashed. We are equals, he said, voice steady. I married you cause you're a fighter, not cause of my money. She yanked free, pacing again, her mind a tornado. So what? You've been watching me drown this week, knowing you could snap your fingers and fix it? That's bullshit. He stepped into her path, eyes blazing now. I didn't fix it cause you didn't need me to. You were already fighting, logs, witnesses, punching the bastard. But he crossed a line tonight, and I'm done waiting. Mia froze, his words sinking in. What do you mean, done waiting? Lucas pulled out his phone, dialed, and put it on speaker. A man's voice, nervous, clipped, answered. Mr. Grayson? Lucas's tone turned ice cold. Tom, it's me. Ethan Carter at Pinnacle, he's out. Fired. Clear his desk by morning, and tell Carla it's non-negotiable. I want him gone. Tom stammered. Yes, sir, right away. And Lucas hung up, eyes locked on Mia. She stared, mouth open, a mix of awe and fury churning inside her. You just fired him. Like that. He nodded, slipping the phone back in his pocket. Like that. He's a liability, framing you, starting fights. I don't tolerate trash in my companies. Mia's knees buckled, and she sank onto the couch, head spinning. Holy shit, she muttered. You're serious. Lucas sat beside her, closer now, his hand resting on her knee. Dead serious. But this isn't about me, it's about you. He fucked with my wife, and that's his funeral. She looked at him, really looked, and saw the man she'd married. Steady, fierce, but now with a power she'd never grasped. Why didn't you tell me? She asked, quieter, raw. 3 years, Lucas. Why hide this? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. I didn't want you to see me as a paycheck. You're Mia Grayson, badass, not CEO's wife. I wanted you to shine on your own terms. She punched his arm, half-hearted. That's noble and all, but it's fucked up. I've been killing myself, and you're sitting on a throne. He caught her fist, pulling her into him, his voice dropping. I'm sorry I kept it quiet. But I'm not sorry for this. Ethan's done. You're not. She shoved him again, then collapsed against his chest, tears spilling. I hate you right now, she mumbled, but her arms wrapped around him. Yeah, I know, he said, kissing her hair. Hate me later. We've got a war to win. She pulled back, wiping her face, fire reigniting. He's out, but I'm still suspended. I need back in my way, not yours. Lucas grinned, fierce. Then fight for it. I'll handle the trash. You take the crown. She nodded, resolve hardening. Ethan was down, but she wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Ethan strutted into Pinnacle Monday morning like nothing had changed. His jaw still ached from Mia's wild swing, barely a bruise, but enough to piss him off, and he'd spent the weekend gloating to anyone who'd listen. She's gone, he'd told Jake over beers, smirking. Freaked out. Attacked me. Carla's done with her. He'd pictured Mia sulking at home, jobless, broken, while he climbed the ladder she'd tumbled off. The bar fight was his win, proof she couldn't handle the heat. He was untouchable. He was wrong. The office felt off the second he walked in. No chatter, no clacking keyboards, just a heavy silence, eyes darting away as he passed. His desk was bare, computer gone, files missing, even his stupid hustle-hard mug vanished. What the fuck? He muttered, dropping his bag. Jake hovered nearby, pale and twitchy. Ethan, Carla wants you. Now. Ethan grinned, cocky as ever. Good. Time to seal Mia's coffin. Carla's office door was open, but the vibe was a guillotine. She sat behind her desk, rigid, her gray bob stark against the morning light. Next to her stood a guy Ethan didn't know. Suit too sharp, face too grim. Sit, Carla said, voice flat. Ethan sauntered in, still smirking. What's this, damage control? Mia's little tantrum over. Carla didn't blink. You're fired, Ethan. Effective immediately. The words hit like a brick, and his grin froze. What? He sputtered, leaning forward. Fired? For what? She attacked me. You saw it. Carla slid a folder across the desk, his termination papers, stamped with Grayson Enterprises logo. Orders from above, she said, clipped. Pack your shit and go. Ethan's brain short-circuited. Above? What the hell does that mean? I've been here 3 years. You can't just... The suit guy cut in, voice like steel. Grayson Enterprises owns Pinnacle. CEO's call. You're a liability. Out. Ethan's stomach dropped, his smirk gone. Grayson? Who what? Carla stood, done. Doesn't matter. Security's waiting. Move. He stumbled out, head spinning, as 2 guards loomed by his desk. The office watched, silent, as he grabbed his bag, hands shaking. This is bullshit, he yelled, voice cracking. I didn't do anything. Jake muttered, sorry man. But no one else spoke. He heard whispers, Mia, leak, fight, and his blood ran cold. The guards escorted him to the elevator, and as the doors shut, he caught Carla's glare through the glass. She wasn't pissed at Mia, she was pissed at him. Downstairs, he dumped his bag on the sidewalk, pacing like a caged animal. Fired. Blacklisted, probably. Grayson Enterprises wasn't some rinky-dink outfit. They owned half the city. Mia, he snarled, kicking a trash can. She'd done this. Somehow, that crazy bitch had pulled strings. He Googled Grayson Enterprises CEO, fingers fumbling, and froze. Lucas Grayson. No photo, just a bio. Reclusive, ruthless, married. Married. Mia Grayson. Holy fuck, he whispered, pieces slamming together. Her husband wasn't some nobody. He was a goddamn kingpin. Panic clawed his chest. He dialed Mia, straight to voicemail. Mia, it's Ethan. Look, I didn't know, okay? I'm sorry, I fucked up. Call me back. He tried again, voice cracking. Please, I didn't mean it. Don't ruin me. Nothing. He texted. I'm begging you. I didn't know who he was. Silence. She wasn't answering, and he knew why. She'd won. Across town, Mia sat on her couch, wineglass in hand. Lucas sprawled beside her. Her phone buzzed. Ethan's voicemails, one after another, his desperation dripping through the speaker. Please, I'm fucking sorry, he whined in the third, and she smirked, hitting delete. Pathetic, she said, sipping her Pinot. Lucas chuckled, arm around her. Told you he'd crack. She leaned into him, still buzzing from his reveal. You didn't just fire him, you torched him. How'd you pull it so fast? He shrugged, casual as ever. Called in a favor. Tom's my guy at Pinnacle, handles the dirty work. Ethan's done in this industry. Mia raised her glass. To trash taking itself out. They clinked, and she savored the moment. Ethan groveling. Her name cleared in Lucas's world, if not Carla's yet. Her phone pinged again. Ethan, I'll do anything. Just stop this. She showed Lucas, grinning. Should I reply? He shook his head, eyes glinting. Let him stew. He'll figure out begging won't save him. She deleted it, a cold satisfaction settling in. Too late, dickhead, she muttered, picturing him unraveling on that sidewalk. He'd framed her, humiliated her, and now he was nothing. She wasn't done, though. Suspension still hung over her, and she'd fight her way back on her terms. Outside, Ethan slumped against a wall, staring at his phone. No job, no prospects. Grayson's reach was a death sentence. He scrolled X, searching Mia Grayson, and found her old posts, fierce, unapologetic, a woman he'd underestimated. Fuck me, he groaned, head in his hands. He'd picked the wrong enemy, and the reckoning was just beginning. Mia didn't sleep much that weekend. Ethan's voicemails, 5 now, each more unhinged, kept her wired, a mix of glee and restless energy. Lucas had torched him, sure, but she was still suspended, her career dangling by a thread. Monday morning, she stood in the kitchen, coffee in hand, staring at her phone. I'm not done, she told Lucas, who was flipping pancakes like it was a normal day. He glanced up, smirking. Never thought you were. What's the play? She slammed her mug down, splashing coffee. I'm going back to Pinnacle. Carla's pissed, but I've got proof. Logs, Lisa's story, Ethan's texts. I'm not begging. I'm demanding my job back, and a fucking promotion. Lucas flipped a pancake, unfazed. That's my girl. Carla's smart. She'll see reason. Mia glared, still raw from his secret. And if she doesn't, you'll just wave your CEO wand again. He set the spatula down, eyes narrowing. You want this your way, Mia? I'm not stepping in unless you ask. She nodded, jaw tight. Good. I'm not your trophy. I'm me. She grabbed her laptop and stormed out, calling Carla on the way. We need to talk, she said when Carla picked up, voice clipped. Today, Carla sighed, fine. 10 a.m., don't waste my time. Mia hung up, adrenaline surging. This was her fight. At Pinnacle, the office buzzed with Ethan's absence, whispers of fired, Grayson, Mia, but she ignored it, marching to Carla's door. She'd dressed sharp, blazer crisp, curls tamed, her bruised knuckles a quiet badge. Carla waved her in, face unreadable. You've got 5 minutes, she said, leaning back. Mia didn't sit. Ethan framed me. She started, sliding a folder across the desk. Logs, Lisa's affidavit, screenshots of his threat. He hacked my email, sent the leak. I've got witnesses, proof, he's done this before. I'm not the liability, he was. Carla skimmed the papers, her silence heavy. And the bar? She asked, eyebrow raised. Mia didn't flinch. I lost it, won't happen again. But he provoked me, and you saw him snap too. I'm not here to grovel. I want my job back, and I want creative lead on the client I landed. I earned it. Carla tapped the folder, eyes sharp. Bold, Mia. Grayson's already cleaned house. Ethan's gone. Why should I trust you won't blow up again? Mia leaned in, voice steel. Because I'm the best you've got. I brought in that $1 million account, and I'll do it again. Ethan's out, I'm not him. Carla studied her, then nodded, slow. All right. Suspension's lifted, creative lead's yours. But one more stunt, and you're done. Grayson or not? Mia grinned. Fierce. Deal. She walked out, head high, the office staring as she claimed her desk. Sarah rushed over, whispering, "You're back?" Mia nodded, smirking. And then some. Ethan's toast. I'm running the show now. Sarah hugged her, laughing. Fucking legend. Mia felt it. Victory. Hard won. Hers alone. Meanwhile, Ethan's world crumbled. He'd spent Monday begging contacts for gigs, but doors slammed shut. Grayson's shadow loomed too large. By Wednesday, he was behind a counter at a shitty electronics store, folding phone cases, his suit swapped for a polo that chafed his pride. He scrolled X on breaks, seething as Mia's posts popped up, triumphant, vague shots of her desk, captioned "Back where I belong." Bitch, he muttered, slamming his phone down. He'd lost everything, job, status, future, and she'd risen from his ashes. That night, Mia came home buzzing, dropping her bag as Lucas lounged on the couch, beer in hand. "I'm back," she said, grinning. "Creative lead, my terms, not yours." He stood, pulling her into a hug. "Knew you'd do it. Proud of you." She melted into him for a second, then shoved him back, eyes flashing. "Don't think we're good yet. You hid a fucking empire from me. 3 years, Lucas." He sighed, setting the beer down. "We're doing this again." She crossed her arms. "Damn right we are. I'm your wife, not some sidekick. You should have told me." Her voice rose, raw and hurt. "I was drowning, and you played Mr. Cool instead of trusting me with the truth." Lucas stepped closer, voice low. "I fucked up, okay? I thought I was protecting you, letting you shine. I didn't want you looking at me like I'm a bank." Mia laughed, bitter. "Protecting me? I don't need a savior. I need a partner. You think I'd love you less 'cause you're loaded?" He grabbed her shoulders, eyes fierce. "No, I think you'd hate me if I stole your fight. You're Mia Grayson, badass, not my shadow. I was wrong to hide it, but I'm not sorry you won this yourself." She shoved him again, tears prickling. "Fuck you for being right," she snapped, but her voice softened. "I hate secrets, Lucas. No more." He pulled her in, hard, his breath warm against her hair. "No more. I swear." She resisted, then sank into him, fists pounding his chest once before gripping his shirt. "You're an asshole," she mumbled, lips brushing his neck. He chuckled, tilting her chin up. "Yeah, but I'm your asshole." She glared, then kissed him, fierce, messy, all teeth and heat. They stumbled to the bedroom, shedding clothes, anger and love tangling in every touch. It was raw, desperate, her nails digging into his back, his hands bruising her hips, until they collapsed, panting, the fight fucked out of them. "We're good?" he asked, voice rough. She smirked, tracing his chest. "For now, don't test me." They lay there, tangled, her victory sinking in. Ethan was a ghost, she was a queen. Lucas's power had cleared the path, but she'd walked it. That was enough, for tonight. Mia stood at her office window, the Chicago skyline sprawling before her like a kingdom she'd conquered. 3 weeks since the bar fight, 2 since she'd stormed back into Pinnacle, creative lead title pinned to her chest like a medal. The client campaign she'd landed was rolling out, billboards, ads, her vision splashed across the city, and the buzz in the office was hers again. She'd turned Ethan's betrayal into her triumph, and fuck, it felt good. But it wasn't just about the win. It was about who she'd become through the shitstorm. She'd spent those weeks reflecting, late nights with wine and Lucas, piecing together the journey. Ethan had been a jealous prick, sure, but he'd lit a fire she didn't know she had. Suspension, humiliation, that gut-wrenching moment in her car. She'd hit rock bottom and clawed out, not because of Lucas's power, but because she refused to break. "I'm not just his wife," she'd told herself, staring at her reflection one night, bruises fading but eyes sharp. "I'm Mia fucking Grayson, and I don't bend." Tonight was the Pinnacle Gala, a glitzy affair at some swanky downtown hotel, all champagne and schmoozing. Carla had insisted she come, a nod to her comeback, and Lucas was her +1, finally stepping into her world as more than a shadow. She'd picked a black dress, sleek and daring, her curls loose, a statement of who she was. Unapologetic, fierce. As she zipped it up, Lucas leaned in the doorway, tie half nodded, grinning. "You look like trouble," he said, voice low. "Good." She shot back, smirking. "I am." He crossed to her, hands sliding around her waist, and kissed her neck. Proud of you, babe. You own this. She turned, meeting his eyes, that old spark flaring. Yeah, I did. With a little help from my secret CEO husband. He laughed, pulling her close. No secrets now. We're a team. She nodded, kissing him quick. Damn right. The gala was a sea of suits and sequins, Pinnacle's elite mingling with clients and execs. Mia walked in on Lucas's arm, heads turning, not just for him, but for her. Sarah found her first, champagne in hand, grinning. You're a rock star, Mia. Ethan's history. This is your night. Mia clinked glasses, fierce. Fucking right it is. Carla approached, offering a rare smile. Good work, Mia. You've earned this. Mia nodded, cool but proud. Thanks. I'm not stopping here. The night hummed, speeches, laughter, her campaign projected on a massive screen to applause. She felt invincible, Lucas's quiet presence grounding her. But as she stepped onto the terrace for air, a figure caught her eye. Ethan, lurking beyond the glass doors, a dark shape against the streetlights. He was in a cheap jacket, hair unkempt, staring like a ghost who'd lost his haunt. Her pulse kicked, not from fear, but from a cold, delicious thrill. She'd heard the rumors. Ethan blacklisted, stuck slinging cables at some strip mall store, his ex-rants ignored. He'd tried messaging her again, a week back. You win, okay? Call it off. She deleted it, no reply. Now, seeing him there, hollowed out, she felt the weight of her victory. He'd thought she was prey, she'd turned predator. Mia stepped closer to the glass, locking eyes with him. His face twisted, anger, shame, desperation, and she raised her champagne flute, slow and deliberate. Fuck you, she mouthed, clear as day, her lips curling into a smirk. Ethan flinched, hands balling into fists, but he didn't move. He couldn't. She'd stripped him bare, job, pride, future, and he knew it. She held his gaze a beat longer, then turned away, leaving him to rot in the cold. Back inside, Lucas found her, slipping an arm around her waist. Saw that? He murmured, voice warm with amusement. Cold as ice. She leaned into him, grinning. He earned it. Fucker thought he'd break me. Lucas kissed her temple. He didn't know who he was messing with. She laughed, sharp and free. Nope. Neither did you, at first. He pulled her onto the dance floor, the band kicking into a slow beat. They moved together, a power couple in sync. Her fire, his steel. I figured it out quick, he said, spinning her. You're a force, Mia. Always were. She pressed closer, hands on his chest. And you're a bastard who hit a throne. We're even now. He chuckled, dipping her low. Deal. As they danced, Mia let it sink in. Every scar, every fight, every win. Ethan had been a catalyst, a jealous spark that forced her to burn brighter. She'd lost her way, found it again, and now she stood taller, not just Lucas's wife, but a woman who'd forged her own crown. The gala spun around them, but this moment was hers, unshakable, victorious. She glanced at the glass one last time, Ethan gone, a shadow erased. Good riddance, she whispered, and turned back to Lucas, her swagger blazing. The music swelled, and they danced on, a duo no one could touch. And there you have it, my tale of betrayal, revenge, and badassery, all wrapped up in Mia Grayson's unapologetic swagger. I hope you've loved this wild ride as much as I've loved crafting it for you. From Ethan's slimy schemes to Mia's fist-swinging comeback and Lucas's jaw-dropping reveal, this story's been a labor of grit and heart. Thank you, readers, for sticking with me through every curse-laden fight and emotional twist. You're the real MVPs here, bringing this world to life with your imagination. If this story hit you in the feels, or made you want to punch Ethan yourself, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Want more tales of fierce women kicking ass and taking names? Hit that like button to let me know you're here for it, and subscribe to my profile for the next epic drop. I've got plenty more where this came from. Share this with your crew if you think they'd vibe with Mia's fire, and let's keep the conversation going. What's your favorite moment? Who'd you root for? Spill it below. Thanks again for reading. Stay bold, stay fierce, and I'll catch you in the next story.